Welcome, Keto Rock Stars. This is your host, your funny favorite food addict, Rockin' Keto Amy. Welcome to tonight's Sunday Night Live. Um, Hold on, I got to turn down my audio on my phone here. So I haven't been here in a few weeks. Um, some things have been going on. We caught the bug that's been going around. Um, and it was just horrendous. I couldn't really talk. I was coughing all the time, blowing my nose, and I really didn't want to. I just needed a break. And then last Sunday, I had everything set up to do what I'm going to do for tonight's live, and then we had what's called straight line winds, and I'm pretty sure we had a confirmed tornado, and we had to seek shelter in the basement. And then we lost power. And although we do have a new generator that we hooked up that will power our whole house. I just didn't want to even connect my computers, and because it was the first time for us using the generator. So that's where I've been the last few weeks, sick, and then all kinds of inclement weather, Sunday through last week. So let's go through the chat and see who all's here. And also, can you hear me okay? Is it too loud? Is it too soft? Last time I was told that my microphone was too low, so I bumped up that volume level. So if I'm too loud, let me know and I'll adjust that. Hello, Evelyn. Evelyn's here. I just saw Evelyn last Tuesday at the meetup in Elkhart, Indiana. And then we have Lynn, 22QCat. She says, finishing up dinner so I can watch. Sorry, Amy, I know you're fasting today. It's okay. I actually may try a little bit of the recipe I'm going to make, so that will break my fast, but whatever. Evelyn said, I just finished my fast. I had to go longer than 36 hours because I don't know what that means, but I'm sure she'll correct that. Lynn says, good to see you back on your channel, Amy. I have seen you everywhere else in chat. So yeah, I just wasn't feeling good. And then last week, we were seeking shelter. We actually went into our crawl space, which has a tiny door, and we tried to grab the pets. It was scary. I want to say a 70 or 80-foot, 50-year-old fir tree dropped between our houses. My parents live next door. It dropped between our houses, missing both of our houses. We are very lucky. And then my parents lost their roof. Oh, so Evelyn says, home. I went for 42 and a half hours. That is amazing. Yeah. I'm going to be going on vacation in May to Florida, and I'm probably not going to fast at all for a week. I'll probably will fast, but not like the PSMF fasting. I'll probably be doing like fasting just because we're going to be eating out a lot. Rick, Twinbrook Acres is here. He says, hi, I wanted to be here. I heard this is where all the good-looking ladies or women are. That's awesome, Rick. Thank you so much. And then Evelyn telling Lynn and I hi, and Rick hi. And then Liz says, you heard right, Rick. How's it going? And then Rick telling everybody hi, and he is doing well. I hope you're doing well after your accident. I hope you're feeling better. Hope you went vehicle shopping and got what you wanted. And then he's telling me hi. And then Lynn says, can't complain, Rick. All is good. And I just told Evelyn, great job with the fast. And then Lynn says, all you fasting pros, awesome. For me personally, I just feel better. My joint pain feels better when I do. And I don't fast all day. I have one big lean protein meal on the days that I fast, usually around 3 p.m. But the next day I feel so much better. My joints feel better. My inflammation feels better. And then it keeps my weight under control. Evelyn says, watching a new show on YouTube called Rethink Meat. Loving it already. 8 episodes. I'm going to have to go check that out. And then she says, this is put out by Autumn from Paleo Valley. And she put the link there. Awesome. We will have to all go check this out. That looks awesome. Evelyn says, I started Friday with PSMF and then moved to a water black coffee fast until today at 4:30. I still meal prep for the week, but couldn't taste test anything. Yeah, I made pork belly bites today, and my husband ate half of them. And I'm like, oh, you better save me some for tomorrow. Uh, Evelyn says, I see you now. Lisa's here. Hey, Lisa. She says, howdy, Amy. I just saw Lisa in Elkhart last week, too. So good to see you. And she's telling hi to Evelyn. Everyone's telling Lisa hi. And Lisa says, just hopping on for just a bit. And just Jason Keto's here. Hey, Jason, welcome. I loved your pizza chaffle video. I can't try those tonight because I'm fasting. Well, sort of fasting, but I'm thinking about making those tomorrow when I break my fast. And I'm sure you can have pizza for breakfast. I've had weirder things for breakfast, so I'm pretty sure I've had ice cream for breakfast. I mean, I've had everything for breakfast. Lisa is everybody's telling Lynn hi, Jason hi. We'll just go through a few of these. Oh, and Taryn is here. So I sort of knew this ahead of time. I know Taryn and his wife, they live here. Sandy and I sing in choir together on Monday nights. But Taryn, I hope you don't mind me sharing. And tell me how long you were vegan. Taryn was a vegan for, I want to say years, like maybe 6, 7, 8 years. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. And then Sandy came to choir practice one night and just all of a sudden said, I'm going carnivore. And then Taryn surprised Sandy, and he just decided one day. And Taryn, I'll have to have you and Sandy on a live stream and interview you guys if you would do that. But Taryn just decided one day he's going to eat meat. And so he broke his years of being vegan. So let's all give Taryn a woohoo. And I hope you're feeling good. I hope you didn't have any issues switching from vegan for so many years, because I've heard when people switch from, well, in any diet, when you switch from eliminating something to introducing that back into your diet, I've heard that it can cause some issues. So hopefully you're doing good. Yeah, Jason's pizza chaffle pops. Yeah, I probably won't do the stick part. I know that was more for fun, but those look amazing. And the green olives, yummy. And Jason's telling Evelyn hi. Everyone's telling Taryn hi. Evelyn says fasting makes me feel amazing. Yeah, even the OMAD PSMF that I do every day, like I suffer from joint pain. When I do that, I feel so amazing. And Sienna's joining us from Facebook. Welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. We used to work together. And Tuber Chat, Kevin's here. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So excited to have you in the chat. So one thing I found, that I was subscribed to your channel, but the notifications they were personalized. So I was never getting notified of when you were going live, which is why I wasn't showing up. Now I know you do go live sometimes during the day when I'm working, so I may not be able to make all of those, but we're going to try to get on more of those live streams. And for those of you who don't know, Tuber Chat helps small, medium, large, probably even large YouTube channels grow their channel. Just Jason Keto introduced me to him, so thank you very much. We got some more people joining us and saying hi to everybody. And Kevin said, share it on Reddit. Thank you so much. And Taryn said, I don't mind sharing. I was vegetarian for 8 years. And, vegetarian's another whole food way of eating. So even though we're keto, we don't judge anybody for what they decide to eat. More Tuber Chat saying hi to everybody. And Taryn says he's feeling great. And everybody is waving and congratulating him. Lynn's saying hi to Tuber Chat. My sister Janine Fretz is in the house. For those of you who don't know, we just did a interview on Cindy DeManch's channel on Friday. So thank you for all of those who joined that and participated. It was a sisters episode. Everyone's saying hi. Okay, this chat is blowing up tonight. This is the most I've ever had in chat. Everybody's saying hello some more. So I'm going to pause on the chat for a little bit, and then we're going to talk about what we're doing tonight. So I had the flu a couple weeks ago. cold, severe chest congestion, and my husband's just now getting out of that. And I was craving chicken noodle soup, right? It's a comfort food. It's what everybody eats when they are sick. It's what people crave when they are sick. And I remember people saying that they used egg life wraps to make noodles. And I just never, I love egg life wraps. I just never tried them as noodles before. So I thought, well, I wonder if I could just take some chicken broth, some canned chicken, because again, when you're sick, you don't feel like cooking a bunch, and then the egg life wraps and turn those into chicken noodle soup. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make that tonight, but the version I'm making tonight is a little bit more fancied up than what I did when I was sick. So we're going to take a break from the chat for a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and make this recipe. Let me get the recipe pulled up. Now, I just went on the Egg Life Wrap webpage and I just grabbed like chicken noodle soup off of their webpage. So that's what we are making. Let me get this pulled up here. I always forget one thing before I go live, and this time it was the recipe. But you can always count that I forget one ingredient, and tonight it's the recipe. Let's see. And I did make this, but again, I kind of made an easier version of it. Okay, so we're gonna switch over to my other camera now, and we're gonna go to the stove top. And then the first thing it says to do is I have just a like a stock pot here. I'm gonna just spray this with. I wanted to get the beef tallow out, but it's in the fridge, so it's a little hard. So I'm just gonna use avocado oil, and I bought this off of Amazon, probably for $10 or less. But I keep my avocado oil in there so that I can easily spray it. And then we're just gonna turn the burner on. Now, I have some veggies here, and we're just gonna saute some veggies, starting with an onion. So I have my onion here, and we're just gonna put that in there. Try to get all of it out. And then I have some chopped up celery, about 2 stalks. And I think it may have said 3 in the recipe. And again, I always link the recipes into the chat. And then, now this is not low carb. So I just want to let you know I do have some carrots here. But when you're sick, I mean, some things, you got to do what makes you feel better. So I occasionally do incorporate some carrots into my recipes. And then we're just going to saute this a little bit. Sometime I'll have to show you the tool that I use to chop my veggies. Again, I apologize if you guys are putting comments in the chat. I am a one-person show, so we will catch up on all of those here in a little bit. So we're just sauteing these veggies. It said about 10 minutes, but we're also going to cook them in the broth. So I don't think we have to do this too long. All these are cooking. Maybe I can come over here and... Okay, some more people saying hello. Hello, hello. And we know Janine now. Yeah, we all know Janine now. She was in the video the other day. Thank you, Evelyn. Yes, please do hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. You can notice I have a little subscriber count at the top that shows my goal that I'd like to reach of 1,000 subscribers. Lynn says, this will be interesting. I've never even tried the egg life wraps. Lisa says, I like the egg life wraps. So what I may do as a follow-up to this is I know a lot of people have made lasagna with egg life wraps, so I may have to take the lasagna that I make and try that. Evelyn says, have you tried the egg life wraps with cheese grilled on the outside? I saw Hope from Mission Keto do it, but I think I got the idea from... No, I have not tried that. I will have to try that. And Lisa hasn't tried that either. Add cheese to anything. Yes, I'll try. Yeah, add cheese to anything. Of course, cheese goes good with anything. Janine says egg life wraps are wonderful. Had one this morning. Eggs, sauces, and cheese wrap. Man, I'm so hungry, guys. Again, I'm fasting, but I'm probably gonna try a little bit of this. So again, we're sauteing these veggies, and again, you can use whatever you want. You can use beef tallow. You can use bacon grease. You can use any keto-friendly oil. And then just saute them in the bottom of the pan. Oh, even the veggies are like smelling so good right now. And again, omit the carrots if you don't do carrots. I just occasionally personally am okay with it. Especially since I'm at my pretty much at my goals. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I have a whole container of, can you see that chicken broth? And we're going to add this in. And again, if you're really sick and you have some bone broth, that would be a good thing to add. I did buy these bone broth, and I'll get them out and show you later. I did buy these bone broth. They're like little dried packets, and I drank those while I was sick. So we're going to add that. I also have 2 cups of just water. So we're going to add 2 cups of water in, and then we're going to bring this to a boil and start simmering it. Now, we want to add some seasonings. Now, when I made this when I was sick, I didn't add any seasonings. I just put some chicken broth in here, some chicken, and the egg life wrap noodles because I was too sick to really worry about anything else. So we're going to start with, I have some granulated garlic here. And it says 5 teaspoons of this. Let me get my teaspoon out here. Second here. It's not, my fingers aren't working. All right. So I have some granulated garlic here. And it says 5 teaspoons. I don't know if that's a lot or not, but we'll just do 5. It's probably going to be really garlicky, but so you can adjust that to what you like. And then it says 3/4 teaspoon of coriander. And again, I didn't use any seasonings when I made this when I was sick. Oh, this isn't even open. Get this open here. Apparently, I bought coriander for something and I never used it. So we're going to do 3/4 teaspoon. And this should be interesting. I have to kind of just judge this because this is a 1 teaspoon and it's okay. So that's about right. And then 1 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. And again, I have not yet tried this with all of these seasonings in here. So I'm probably going to have to try this tonight. So this is 1 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. I'm just judging this 1/2 teaspoon here. And then what else do we have? We have, ooh, my favorite. This should be interesting. 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. I thought that was an interesting ingredient. I like cumin in my chili, but I wouldn't have thought to put it in chicken noodle soup. And if you don't like any one of these seasonings, you don't have to use it. And then 3/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Again, I don't have a 3/4 teaspoon, so I'm just kind of guesstimating with my little teaspoon there. So we'll put that in there. And then, okay, we got all that. Let me stir this up a little bit. Ooh, wow. That actually smells amazing. Of course, everything smells amazing when you're fasting. And then I think I'm going to wait to put the chicken breast in for a little bit. We'll wait about 15 minutes. Let's cook this for 30 minutes. So instead of making my own chicken, because when you're sick, you don't want to cook, I got this just can of chicken breast from Sam's Club. Okay, I'm going to simmer this. It's starting to come to a boil. We'll check on that in a minute. Let me come back over here, and then we'll take some more chat. Hi, Andy. Andy's here. I got to see Andy and Susan at the meetup in Elkhart on Tuesday as well. It was so awesome to see you guys. Everyone's telling Andy hi. Sandy's here. Sandy's my friend from choir on Monday nights. Hi, Sandy. And Rick is telling Andy hi. And Andy says it's a lazy Sunday, catching up on things on the computer. Rick's telling Sandy hi. Hey, Rick. And then Lisa says Andy. Everyone's telling everybody hi still. Okay, so Andy says, hey, Evelyn, how you doing today? Made keto chow pancakes this morning, and Susan loved them. I have to try those. Great to see you again. Lots to look forward to this summer. Yes, we do. Okay, so while this is simmering, I'm going to come over here. Now, these are actually the Egg Life wraps, and these are actually Southwest style flavor. When I made the chicken noodle soup when I was sick, this is what I had open, was a Southwest style, and it made it more like a chicken tortilla soup. But really, you can use any Egg Life wrap. You can use the plain. You can use, just whatever. So I'm going to put my camera down here so you can see what we're going to do with these. Okay, good. That's on my cutting board. Move this over here. So we're going to just take these out, place them on here so you can see them, and then we're just going to use a pizza cutter. So I have a pizza cutter here, and we're just going to cut these into, and you can make these as thin or as thick as you like them. And we're just going to pizza cut these, roll them into noodles. Now, I did a test with the soup. I had it the first night, and then I wanted to see if the noodles got soggy I'm sorry, I'm just making sure I'm not missing any. The noodles got soggy if you put them in the fridge and ate it the next day. And I waited 2 days, and I ate them 2 days later. And the noodles did not get soggy. So I was really happy about the way this turned out. And again, I think the taco flavor or the Southwest flavor gives it a little bit of chicken tortilla flair to it. So we're just cutting these up into noodles, and they don't have to be perfect. And they can be as wide or as thin as you like them. Now, I did this when I was still sick, and this was the most work you had to do, was actually making the noodles. And it says use a whole package, but I'm just going to use what's left in the package. I don't want to get another. Oh, the other thing is, you can freeze these. So I buy them and I put them in a freezer. And the reason why I do that, and they freeze pretty well, the reason why I do that is because I sneak these in my purse to the Mexican restaurant. You never know when you're going to be going out with friends to the Mexican restaurant, and you're going to need some tortilla shells. And you can make them yourself, but it's always good to have a backup if you're busy like me and you don't have time to make your own tortilla shells. All right, so we got 2 of those done. Okay, let me come back over here. Let's check on the soup. It is boiling, so I'm going to turn it down and simmer it. Get those veggies cooking. Now, the recipe that Egg Life Wrap they want you to cook your own chicken. I am not cooking my own chicken because I'm a little lazy. All right, here's the short for the Egg Life Wraps app. Cool. Thank you, Evelyn. I'm going to check that out. Dustin says, hey, I'm coming. Dinner things. And everybody telling Dustin hi. One of my favorite soups was chicken tortilla soup from Max and Irma's. I love making chicken tortilla soup. And Lisa says, I agree, Amy. You can stack them and cut them too. Oh, Evelyn, where are you when I need you? Okay, let's come back here. And we are going to, that's a great idea, Evelyn. Cut them 2 or 3 at a time. You don't have to do it like I did. You can be smart like Evelyn. Oh, by the way, Evelyn, look what I'm wearing. So just so everybody knows, Evelyn is very crafty and she makes presents when you come to the meetups, and I have both of her bracelets on that she made for me. Okay. So we're just going to finish cutting these into strips. As you can see, it goes very easily. And I do have some plain ones in there, but I really like the taco flavored Egg Life Wraps. So I'll have to try this again and do the lasagna with the Egg Life Wraps. Okay. All right, so we have our noodles all cut up. All right, I'm gonna point this up again. Sorry, I only have 2 cameras. Won't let me hook a third one up, so we just have to kind of adjust. All right, let's go through some more chats. Lisa has never tried chicken tortilla soup. Man, is it good. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the first things I made while I was on keto, honestly, was chicken tortilla soup. Lynn says, Victor Southern Keto made cinnamon rolls from those egg wraps. I made mine with his alternate method, which was using flatbread. You make cottage cheese. So I just made a cottage cheese pizza crust, but I got to use up my cottage cheese. So I was just going to make the pizza crust that I got. I don't know where I got it. I got it off the internet somewhere. It wasn't anybody that we know. And I'm going to actually make tortillas the same way I made the pizza crust. Lynn's telling Dustin hi. Keto, or Dustin says Astra's cooking. Hey everyone. I got to see Dustin in Elkhart last week. So much fun. So we're going to let that simmer. Now, while we are letting that cook a little bit, there's some other things I want to talk about. Well, and Dustin says I got 2 different broth that is in tea bags, tomato and tortilla soup. Tomato is 2 grams total carb and tortilla is 1 gram total carbs. I got them at Walmart in the broth section. That is, okay, let me show you what I got at Costco. I did not get this ready, but it should just be right in here. Sorry for me stepping away. Okay, here it is. Sorry, my pantry is stuffed to the max right now. Okay, so this is the bone broth that I got. Can you see that? Bone broth, and these are, I got this at Costco. It's called Bare Bones, and they come in like almost like the salty packets, and you can just mix that with hot water. So I did use those while I was sick. Now, we're going to talk about something a little bit controversial. Cold medicine. When you're sick, do you use cold medicine? Do you not use cold medicine? I'm of the camp that, and the one that I prefer, there's 2 things that I use. One of them is this Alka-Seltzer cold and cough. Now, keep in mind, these are the fizzy tablets, the Power Fast Fizz. Oh yeah, I had to open this up to look, and it's already been over a week. So the ingredients is what I want to read here. Where is the, everything like you're going to die of if you have a reaction. Let's see, the ingredients list was in here. Oh, here we go. Aspirin, 325 milligrams. Dextromet dextromethorphan hydrobromide, which is a cough suppressant, phenylephrine butyrate, which is nasal decongestant. And I thought I saw somewhere in here that there is some sort of maltodextrin, or they didn't list it on the main page. I know there's sugar in these. They taste sweet. It may not be sugar, but it is. Um, so each tablet also contains 80 milligrams of potassium, 356 milligrams of sodium. Oh, here we go. Inactive ingredients. Sorry, this is really small. And hydrocitric acid, calcium silicate, dimethicone, red dye number 40, woohoo, yellow number 6, flavor. What's flavor? Just flavor. Mannitol, there's your sugar. Potassium bicarbonate, povidone, sodium bicarbonate, and sucralose. So they do put sucralose in there too, but other things use sucralose like keto chow and stuff like that. So I'm in the camp that if I'm miserable, this is temporary. Um, and this is what I'm going to use. The other thing that I use, this is basically a generic brand. It's Mucus Relief. It's a generic brand of Mucinex. So I always recommend taking Mucus Relief. It's guaifenesin is what it's called. Now that helps you loosen your chest mucus. And I found that the Alka-Seltzer Plus was making it so that I was having a hard time breathing. So eventually, after a few days, I stopped taking it. Lisa says, broth and tea bags sounds interesting. And Lisa says, what are they called, Dustin? I'll let us know when I find where the kids put them away. That sounds like an issue. Sandy says, I absolutely do, and not because I'm a nurse, but because it helps with my symptoms. Yeah, I don't like feeling miserable. So if I need to go off plan with some mannitol and some sucralose and some red dye number 40, I don't think long term. I mean, we're only talking, I probably took this stuff for 4 or 5 days. Now I was sick for like over 2 weeks. And then eventually I just tapered off of the Alka-Seltzer because I think it was suppressing my cough. And I just stayed on the mucus relief for like almost 3 weeks. Evelyn says this channel Christy uses cut to carb wraps for lots of yummy things. I use the Egg Life wraps because I can buy them locally. So they sell Egg Life wraps locally here at Meijer's and also at Aldi's. But before they sold them locally, I would order $50 worth direct from Egg Life's website and just have them shipped to my house. If you get more than $50 worth, it's free shipping. And the price is about the same. Andy says, we use Mucinex DM, and after being sick for so long, I was prescribed zithromycin, and then it finally went away. There was a time there I thought, Andy, that I was not going to get better. And then my husband got sick, and then he was miserable, and he's still not 100%. Andy says, I tried my best not to use, but I could not get well without taking meds. Yeah, you got to do what you do. So Evelyn brings up a good point because my husband likes the Dayquil and NyQuil. So he was taking that. They're sugar-free. Yeah, sugar-free cough drops. As little as possible, but yes. And I up my vitamins, yes. So I up my vitamin D and my zinc when I'm sick. Dustin says they are called Millies. And I'll send a photo to Amy. She might be able to put them on the screen. I might be able to put them on the screen. Send it to me. Did you just send it to me? Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can pull this up. Let's see. How do I get to chat? Give me a second here. Just go to, I have to leave this up. Let me go to messages here and I'll download that. Meanwhile, while I'm getting to that, Lisa says I'll have to look for them the next time I'm at Wally World. Taryn says pseudoephedrins works better than phenyl. Yeah, you're so smart. Phenylephrine. caffeine. It's over the counter, but you have to buy it at the pharmacy counter and provide. Yeah, so funny thing about all that, I used to not take any cold medicine at all. Oh, here we go. Dustin's chat just popped up. I used to not take any cold medicine at all because I had high blood pressure and they don't want you to take any of that for that reason. Okay, hold on. Maybe I can just let me see if I can get to my desktop. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hold on. I haven't done this in a while. Properties. Here we go. File Explorer. Maybe this is it. Nope. Can I do all screens? Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is what Dustin's talking about. Sorry, took me a minute. Okay, so, and it's sideways. That's how he sent it. So Millie's tomato basil and Millie's spicy tortilla. Oh, sipping broth. And these are broth bags. So that's really cool. They're keto friendly, gluten free, and plant based. So, and he said they're like, what, 2 grams of carbs a piece? Thank you for sharing that, Dustin. Okay, that's what Dustin bought. So there's products out there, and you don't want to wait till you're sick to buy them. Most of this stuff doesn't go bad. So, okay, so let's check the soup. Let me go over to this camera. Let's see. Oh, okay, it's just simmering. Man, it has a good smell to it. Just simmering. We don't need to cook the chicken because it's already pre-cooked. We're just going to heat it up. So we can probably talk a little bit more. Lynn says, luckily, I have not been sick in many years. Not sure if that's how I eat now or because I'm no longer working in a German hospital. So I usually get sick because, well, I sing in 2 choirs, and then I usually get it from the nursing home because I care for my husband's 93-year-old mother. And so I usually get it. Let me see if I can pronounce this. I usually get it when I go to the nursing home. Sorry, typo. Phenylephrine. Is that how you say that? Phenylephrine. Terrence says, what you have contains phenylephrine, which doesn't work at all for me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And Rick says, good night. Oh, got to stretch out on the couch for a while before going to bed. Thank you for joining us, Rick. We appreciate you. And then Terrence says, pseudoephedrine is the same thing as Sudafed, which is controlled over the counter. Sudafed PE is the phenylephrine variant. Pseudoephedrine can be used as an intermediate in the synthesis of meth. Yes. Yes. So that's why they take your driver's license. And I used to take Mucinex DM, which is the pseudoephedrine version, I think, like you're talking about. And you have to sign for that too. But now I just take just the guaifenesin version. I don't get the DM. Okay. So Lynn says, good night, Rick. Okay, so what we're going to do is hop back over to the soup. And then we're going to add in the chicken. So again, when you're sick, I always keep a bunch of canned meat in the pantry anyway, like canned beef, canned chicken, canned tuna. So, and I didn't open it last week before the tornado, thank goodness. So I was able to not waste a can. So we're just going to put these chunks in here. You turn this so you can see it. Probably be better if I used a spoon. And like I said, the last time I made this, I didn't put all the fancy spices in it. I literally just used the canned chicken, the broth, and the cut up noodles and the water. So, and that to me was delicious. So make sure we get the rest of the chicken out there. Okay, so we have chicken in our soup. And then we're going to add these noodles. So let me bring these over. And you don't have to cook the noodles very long, maybe just a couple minutes. probably just to heat them up. And then, like I said, I made this, and my husband does not like soup. So you can see that this literally does look like real chicken and noodle soup, which is kind of cool. And we're just heating up these noodles. And I am going to try a little bit of this even though I'm fasting. So it is going to break my fast, but I just want to know with all of the spices in here, because I've not made it with all the spices, how it tastes. So we're going to let this simmer for a little bit. We'll go back over here. DM is dextromorphan whatever, hydrobromide. DM. Oh, so that's what's in this. Ah. Rick says, good night, Lynn. And Sandy goes, sorry, Amy, you know my husband is a chemist. So, yes, Taryn is very smart. Everybody, he just got his PhD from the University of Notre Dame. So he knows all the drug names, and he is a chemist. Very smart guy. Cough suppressant, yeah. And I found the cough suppressant was hurting me more than helping me, even though overall it made me feel better. It was not allowing me to cough up the mucus. I'm a synthetic organic chemist and specifically a medicinal chemist, not just a chemist. Well, we appreciate you, Taryn, because you know all of the things. Taryn is a very resourceful person when talking about drugs and medicine to have in this space. So we're so glad you are here. Well, gang, sorry I can't chat any longer. Time for me to start heading to bed. Night, night, everyone. Night, Lisa. We love you. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you soon. Lynn says, good night, Lisa. Bye, Lisa. And then Sandy says, it's all mumble jumble to the rest of us, hon. It's okay. All right. So I should think this is about 2 minutes. It should be heated up. So let me get some hot pads. And let me hold this up for you so you can see. The burner's not off. Make sure I turn the burner off so you can see this soup up close. Looks delicious. I'm going to bring it over here, stick it on a hot pad, and then we're going to talk some more. All right, I can throw this out. Let me switch screens here. All right, I'm back. And then I'm going to ladle some of the soup into a little, so I am going to break my fast a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to ladle just a little bit of this, maybe a few bites, and a few noodles on a piece of chicken. Sorry, I'm trying to be selective and get a little bit of everything. I can't even find the chicken now. There may be a spice in here I'm not particularly fond of. We will see. All right, let me get the spoon. I'll use the one I used for the chicken. All right, let me let this cool down for a second. We'll see how this tastes. And Sandy says, good night, Lisa. Sent a photo of my chicken noodle soup. Okay, hold on. Let's see what Dustin's sending me. Ooh. All right, let's go back to... That is not soup, Dustin. This is Dustin's chicken noodle soup. Dustin, you have to will you share that recipe? That's what I want. That's not my chicken noodle soup. My chicken noodle soup is more brothy. But man, that does look good. I'm not gonna lie. Oops, wrong camera. Sorry. Evelyn says, yum. Yeah, yum to Dustin's. Dustin's got to show me up a little bit there with his thick chicken and noodle. What did you use as your noodles, Dustin? Is that egg life wraps or what'd you use? That looks good. Yeah, I will. Feel free to post it in the Keto Rockstars group if you'll do that. Okay, we're going to see what this is like. Oh, mashed potatoes. Chris Cook in Nashville is like, if you're not subscribed to his channel, you need to be. And he has the best mashed potatoes recipe. It is the closest thing to mashed potatoes I've ever had. All right. Actually, not bad. The spices are pretty good, I would say. But again, you can leave those out. So if you're just coming off the standard American diet, the noodles aren't going to be like Amish noodles. But if you're not used to having noodles, these are really good. Very good. Sorry, I'm eating in front of all you. Again, I've been fasting all day, so this may be a little bit of an addiction eat. And I would probably cook the veggies a little bit longer. They still have a little bit of a crunch to it, but it's good. Yeah, I wish I had Chris cooking Nashville's mashed potatoes to go with it, Dustin says. Everything but the veggies is protein sparing modified fast friendly. Oh, I use Egg Life on PSMF days. That is a great idea, Evelyn. Oh, Egg Life wraps cut into small pieces. That looks awesome. Yes, Dustin, recipe please. Yes, and Sandy says I'm carnivore though, so need to find a way to make more carnivore. The wraps are eggs, so you could just leave out the veggies and just do the broth and the chicken, and that's how I made it, Sandy. I didn't put any veggies in it when I made it when I was sick. So the Egg Life wraps might be considered carnivore because they're made out of eggs mostly. So let me see. Hold on. I already threw this out, but let me see what's in these. And I would probably do the plain ones. Okay, because these have egg whites, less than 1% of garlic, cumin, onion, chili pepper, red pepper, salt, black pepper, red bell pepper, and all of those peppers are in here because these are the taco flavored ones. Xanthan gum contains egg. So if you get the regular ones that aren't flavored, yeah, then you can have. I would just do the broth, and even if you don't want to put the spices in there, other than maybe salt, um, and I didn't even add salt. I was going to add some Redmond's organic seasoned salt. So yeah, you could use these as noodles, and then just use the broth, and then your chicken, and just add more chicken in it. Yeah, Sandy says egg is carnivore. Yep, I would just do the wrap. That's how I made it while I was sick. So you could do that. Absolutely. Oh man, I got to get this picture of Dustin's chicken noodle. Is there broth in that? Because all I see is like, oh, it looks so good, Dustin. Evelyn says one of my favorite PSMF dishes is egg life noodles, shrimp and egg white scrambled in butter flavored coconut oil with garlic. It's PSMF shrimp scampi. Yes, I may have to do that. Yummy. I do. Maria Emmerich had a recipe for protein sparing modified fasting taco shrimp. So I usually just sprinkle some shrimp with some taco seasoning and air fry them for like, well, depending on if they're uncooked or cooked. If they're cooked, like 5 minutes. If they're uncooked, 7 or 8 minutes. Yummy. Yum, yum, yum. Does the coconut oil have a lot of fat in it? I try to reduce. I know this is going to be contrary to what people think, but I only do it between 1 and 3 days a week. I try to do things with as little fat on those days as possible. And then on the other days, this is going to be weird, but we discussed this on Friday. It works for me, and I feel great. And actually, the days that I do the PSMF days, the next day I feel amazing. It's almost like I hadn't eaten all day. And I'm always hungry when I fast at night. Um, the next morning, you think I would be starving, and I'm not. It's the nighttime that always gets me. Uh, so post in the chat. Would you fast? Do you fast? Do you not fast? Are you high fat? Are you medium fat? Are you a mix like me? Like some days when I eat, and I'm not on PSMF, I put butter in my coffee. And then on the days I'm doing fasting and PSMF, no butter in my coffee. I also don't do flavored electrolytes on those days. I do plain electrolytes, which right now I am drinking. I'll do unflavored, salty, but I'm trying to save that for when I travel, the packets. So I'm doing the mix that I made, the homemade do-it-yourself electrolytes unflavored in green tea. And also, oh, I think that's in the other room. But let me show you what else I use when I'm fasting. That's right up here. I have, if I can find them. So when you get hungry and you're fasting, these are wrapped up. I don't know if I have an open package or not, but my husband loves these too. These are actually, I'm going to open this so I can show it to you because it's in bubble wrap. I get these shipped right from Redmond's. But these are salt crystals. So if you do fasting, you can buy these. And this is going to sound weird, especially from someone who is a recovering high blood pressure person. But these are salt rocks and you can lick them. And to me, it feels like I'm eating popcorn when I lick the salt rock. It feels like I'm eating. And it calms down my cravings. It is strange how that works. But I saw that from Dr. Barry, like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, they recommended the Redmond salt rocks. And when you fast, you just, lick the salt rocks and it helps with cravings. It is amazing how that works. I measure coconut oil and it's under 30 grams. You still need some fat on PSMF. Yes, you do. I have all the numbers programmed into my car manager because you are amazing, Evelyn. Jennifer Lucas is here. Hi, Jennifer. I got to see her last Tuesday too at the Elkhart meetup. You are beautiful as well, my friend. Thank you for joining us off of Facebook. We appreciate it. We are making, I'm going to have one more bite. I know I probably shouldn't, but I already broke my fast. So we made chicken noodle soup out of egg life wraps. Ooh, that one was kind of spicy. The cumin gives it a little kick. And so does the spicy egg life wraps. Evelyn said I just got some of those just recently. Love them salt rocks. Yes. Now, is it a requirement on this lifestyle to fast? No, it's not. You don't have to fast. And we were just talking about this on Cindy DeManch's channel Friday night. Her sister Deb, my sister Janine, and I, when I do higher fat, I feel like I gain weight. So I do kind of medium fat. I kind of alternate off on days, and everybody's got to do their own N equal 1. I mean, I look at a steak and butter gal, Bella, and she eats a ton of fat, and she is skinny as a rail. I'm also a lot older than she is. So I think just everyone's bodies are different. And you got to figure out what works for you. And I'm really happy with where I'm at. Now, the Two Crazy Ketos made a good point in one of their live streams a while back about fasting. And it felt like when they were doing PSMF, it felt like they were white knuckling it. Yes, sometimes I do get hungry, but, and it's usually mostly at night. And then I do the salt rocks, and then I drink things like, I allow myself as much coffee and as much green tea and water as I like. And I just drink those things. I add salt to the green tea, my electrolytes. I use a salt rock, and you know what? And then sometimes, even if I'm really having a lot of food noise, I just go to bed, or maybe an hour earlier than I would normally. And then I know when I wake up, I get to eat. So, yeah, I do feel so much better after I do some OMAD fasting with protein sparing modified fast foods. My joints feel so much better. The scale seems to like it, and but mostly just my stomach. I feel like I'm giving my stomach time to heal and my joints time to heal. So, yeah, I know Evelyn does day fasts. I know Dustin has done several day fasts. I think my sister Janine, who's in here, said she She just does OMAD or intermittent fasting. She has never gone. Now, I did go before my colonoscopy. I did an extra day fasting. So technically I went like 48 hours without eating before them, but I was just too scared to eat because of what was going to happen. And it was bad no matter what. So we won't go into those details in case anyone's eating, but um, yeah, I was just terrified of having that much food in my system before colonoscopy prep. So I think, and I hated it. I hated not eating. And even the PSMF meals aren't like, I mean, grilled chicken or the salmon. I really like eating salmon. And I do an egg white omelet. Even that, it's like, ugh, it's not my favorite thing to eat. I'd rather be eating the pork belly bites that my husband's eating, but I know that this is what I need to do to stay on track, to make my joints feel, it's all for me about my joints. And my joints feel so much better when I do this. They really do. And I know I alternate days. So if I'm doing it 3 days a week, if I'm having a rough time and I really need to stay on track, then I alternate days. So I'm not doing multiple days in a row of that. Awesome. We have been here for an hour, folks. So I posted the recipe in the comments. So feel free to try the chicken noodle soup recipe. And I'm probably going to come out with maybe try this in lasagna. Now, normally I do Maria Emmerich's protein noodle lasagna, but I really like this so much that I'm willing to try this in a lasagna. Janine says 16/8. Sometimes I make it to 20 when I'm at work, but try for at least 16. So good to give digestion a break. Yeah. So what I do is when on PSMF days, I don't eat until 3 p.m. that day. So I go whenever I wake up from the night before, whatever I had the night before to eat, the last thing I ate, I go until 3 p.m. the next day. I eat one PSMF meal, high protein, as much protein as I can eat, and then I go till the next morning until I feel like eating. And sometimes it's 9, sometimes it's 10, depending on what's going on. Sometimes it's noon. If it's a Friday and I'm going out with my friends for lunch, I won't eat very much. Evelyn says, thanks, Amy. You rock. Thank you, Evelyn. I love you so much. You've become such a good friend. Yes, thank you, Jason. Jason says, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share to your friends. So Jason knows, well, cooking on camera is a struggle. So it is not easy to cook on camera. It is particularly not easy to cook live on camera. So I appreciate you all being here. It's not always perfect when we do live cooking shows. My channel has been around since October, my YouTube channel, but I've been doing this, I want to say a year and a half cooking live. I was doing it on Facebook. So for those of you who know how hard it is to cook and film and then edit and put it together, it is even harder to do it live in front of an audience. And I don't have a producer. I don't have someone like Chris Cook in Nashville, filming me. I have my own cameras. My laptop's right here. I have a camera here, a camera here. You can actually see it on screen. And it is not easy. So, and I'm dual streaming to both Facebook and YouTube. So, I got a couple of things to show you. I set up some new little cool features. So I want to kind of show you something that's kind of funny. We'll just give a shout out to everybody in this live stream. This is my dancing bacon. Thank you for everybody who has joined tonight. I just had to show you my live dancing bacon that I put in my live stream because I love it. Sandy says, what is PSMF? And then Janine answered with protein sparing modified fast. So if you go to Maria Emmerich's page or YouTube channel, she has a YouTube that talks extensively about protein sparing modified fast. They also have a macro calculator that you can use to either get your regular macros, and you have to do measurements for this. So this is how I was able to really drop the weight, was using her macro calculator and tracking my foods. And then I wanted to do her PS on my PSMF day. She has a PSMF calculator, so you can really tune in your macros. Because I lost 80 pounds and then I stalled for 2 years. And so I started watching her on what she was doing with protein sparing modified fasting. And it's not for everybody, but I found that just personally with my joint pain and everything, I I feel so much better when I do that. Jennifer Lucas asks, is this also on YouTube? Yes, it is, Jennifer. My handle is at Keto Rockstars. And then you'll know it's me because actually I found there's another at Keto Rockstars, but it's Rockin Keto Amy. Sandy has a question mark. What does that mean? Oh, protein sparing modified fasting is when you get your fat down to, well, for me, it was 10 grams of fat. The protein, it's really high. I'll have to show you my screenshots from the macro calculator. And then your carbs are like as low as possible too. Jason says, and if you haven't followed Jason's page, just Jason Keto on YouTube. Sorry, Jason, I'm still trying to work out getting the Nightbot stuff set up based on what you said in your live stream a couple weeks ago, but I haven't gotten that set up yet. So just Jason Keto has done a couple of live cook along streams. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. And my mom always says when she joins in this, you need to practice more. I'm like, I get that, Mom, but the ingredients are kind of expensive. So I try to practice. Thank you for sharing Jason's channel, Evelyn. I'll get to that in a second. So I try to practice as much as I can without going bankrupt for having a cooking channel. Oh, Sandy says, sorry, that was supposed to be a thumbs up. And Taryn, thank you for sharing your journey. And Taryn, thank you for sharing your journey because you're an inspiration to all of us. You and Sandy are both inspirations to us. Evelyn says it's eating high protein. This is PSMF, eating high protein to preserve muscle. Once you're fat adapted, it helps to burn body fat for fuel. So what happened to me was I lost 80 pounds and then my body got used to where I was at and then I stalled. And this happens to a lot of people. But because of my hip surgeries, me and my doctors had set an ideal weight, an optimal weight for me to be at to feel my best because of the surgeries. Oh, Sandy goes, that dancing bacon reminds me of your dance for Walk Like an Egyptian. So when we go out, that Walk Like an Egyptian is my karaoke song. So if you remember that song from the 80s, okay, Sandy, I will play you the bacon one more time. Just because it's fun. I have a few more things in there too, but I got to give you guys a little sneak peeks along the way. I can't show it to you all at once. Sandy says, LOL. And this is just Jason Keto's YouTube. So please go subscribe. He did the chaffle recipe tonight, the pizza chaffle. My gosh, so hungry. I want those chaffles in my belly now. I just do. So good. So good. I lost my second screen here. So I got to get back to the chat. See if it pops back up here. Oh man, those chaffles look so good. The green olive. Do you have me at pepperoni and green olives? And then I didn't know about the Parmesan. You guys just got to go watch this video. Jason says, thank you, Evelyn. Oh, why is it not? No, I don't want to go to the Microsoft App Store. My computer's having fits. Jennifer Lucas says, Eureka! Evelyn said, you do great, Amy. Thank you so much. And then Evelyn goes, about time you joined us here on YouTube. Jennifer Lucas. Oh my gosh, you guys are cracking me up tonight. Well, I'll have to think about what I'm going to do next week. when I come up with ideas, and again, a lot of these aren't my recipes. A lot of the creators, I have permission to do them because even though you technically don't need permission to use somebody's recipe on a live stream, it's nice to not make people mad at you to get permission. So I got Maria Emmerich's, I got Keto Dads, I got oh, what is her name? Not sugarfreemom.com. The other Carolyn Ketchum, I got her permission. Plus, I always link back to their channels and their recipes. Oh yeah, Just Jason Keto did chaffles on a stick, and I was like, I'm so glad I watched the whole thing because I'm like, how's he gonna get that stick in there? The lid's not gonna close. But he thoroughly goes through how to get the stick in there, and it was amazing, and it didn't look hard at all. So yes, please go over to Just Jason Keto's channel, and if you're not subscribed to him, subscribe to him. Ooh, chaffles on a stick. No, that's Jason's video, but Jason got me into something. They have these new chaffle makers out by Dash that they come with interchangeable plates. And I always make Keto Dad's white bread in them. And I'm like, but they're always like little waffles. And I always wanted one like a bread slice. So I want to use the pancake insert or whatever you call it to make slices of bread. So we'll see how that turns out. And then Just Jason Keto said that you can get all different holiday plates. Evelyn, I can see you doing this since you like fancy schmancy. You can get like Santa Claus. You can get heart shaped. I think I got the heart shaped one to make heart shaped bread. So, ooh, heart shaped chocolate chaffles with cream cheese frosting in the middle, like an Oreo heart shaped chaffle. Evelyn says, sweet chaffles on a stick and dip it in melted Lily's chocolate. Oh, you killing me, Smalls, about halfway. It can replace cake pops. Jennifer says, I have a corn dog machine I need to try. What's a corn dog machine, Jennifer? Yes, that does sound amazing, Evelyn. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm fasting, but I just broke my fast with a little bit of chicken noodle soup. So post in the comments, would you make the chicken noodle soup when you're sick? It sounds like Sandy would make it without the vegetables. Again, and just to reiterate, I made this really fancy with a bunch of the spices and herbs that the Egg Life Wrap website said to use. You don't have to do that. It tasted good just with some chicken broth, some chicken, and some Egg Life Wraps. So if you're sick and don't feel like doing all the fancy stuff, you don't have to. And again, I did a soggy test in the fridge, and the noodles stayed good for a couple of days. I mean, I didn't test it past a couple of days because it's really not a whole lot of soup. I feel like you could eat this much soup in a couple of days. So yeah, everybody go out and check out Just Jason Keto's channel, and Evelyn posted that. And I'm probably going to wrap this up so that I can clean up my kitchen and get my computer ready for work tomorrow morning. Evelyn does say, just thinking of quick, easy recipes, cream cheese, stuffed strawberries, dipped in chocolate. You're killing me, Smalls, with all of the sweets. Thanks, Amy. My sister saying good night from Nevada. Thank you, everybody. And I'm so glad I'm back on air after a 3-week hiatus of being sick and tornadoes. So we're back. And if you have anything you would like me to test out, give me ideas. I will test anything that can be done in an hour and a half online in front of you all. Good night, everybody. We're going to go ahead and sign out, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great night. Take care.